Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Lion Among Wolves, my pilot episode. I'm taking you guys with me in my vlog. I want to talk about having a growth mindset. What exactly does that mean? I want to talk about reading book of Proverbs. I think that's going to be a game changer for you. Just a chapter a day. Final thing that I think will be a game changer for you, that if you don't do it, it's game over, is learning to be patient with yourself. Lessons from the Moso bamboo plant. Let's get it. What is going on, y'all? So part of having a growth mindset is knowing when to shift the gear from blaming yourself or blaming everything else to dropping the blame and having more of a responsibility mindset. There are two main events that come to mind, at least in my life, that really help trigger a growth mindset. A long time ago, me and my friends were hanging out. This homeless guy rolls up and he wants to, get money and all this. They also needed a ride to the next homeless shelter. So I was like, no worries, man. Hop in the car. As I was driving there, he was telling me about all the things that he was going through, all the things that his life went through. I was like, man, I'm sorry to hear that. This place is hiring. They'll take care of you. You know, you can get back on your feet a little bit at a time, one step at a time, one day at a time. But he had every excuse under the sun, and it scared me to death because I realized that could be me if I don't have a growth mindset. If I keep blaming everything else and outside factors, oh, I'm just too tired, or maybe I'm just going through too much, or maybe I'm too heartbroken that I can't do anything, then I realized I would never do anything. And so that made a huge impact on me. Later on, when I worked in the factories, I met a guy who, during the 2008 housing market crash, man, he lost his job, he lost the house, he lost everything. So he put his wife and kids up with his family, his mom and dad, so they had a place to stay. He worked 2 jobs, grinding hard night and day, one in the factory and one in a call center. And you know what? He took food stamps for a season, but he got his house back. He got his original job back. He's making more now than ever. That made a deep impression on me. You can either make excuses or you can take time for yourself to grieve a short time, but then get up on your feet again. Get going. And that is part of having a growth mindset. The other one that really made a deep impact on me was this book called Pathway to Healing, or The Journey from Healing from Abandonment. Great book. And it's not just about abandonment. Even in the beginning of the book, they'll tell you if you're going through a heartbreak, maybe you're going through death, maybe you're losing a job, maybe you have gone through something serious like cancer or separation, divorce. All these things are really, really hard. I get that. I really do. The book was talking about 5 things that you want to implement and realize what's going on there. The first one is SWIRL. S is swirl. And S is shattering. And this is where you're going to feel an immense amount of pain. And fortunately, this stage is the shortest stage, as it's also the most intense of all the stages. Allow yourself to feel that pain. Don't numb it with dopamine-seeking activities. Don't go to alcohol, or don't go to doing games or pornography on the computer. Don't do any of that. Let the pain sit. And that is part of having a growth mindset. W is going to stand for withdrawals. Wishing that you had everything that you lost. Allow yourself to feel that, because it's totally normal. It's not weak, but it's actually strong. Allowing yourself to feel that, absorb that, and move on. The next stage is I. Turning the outward hatred inward and wondering, what did I do wrong? Maybe it's my fault. Maybe this, maybe that. Again, like we talked about at the beginning of the video, it's not always about fault. It's not about blame. There's a reason why in the Bible, the devil is always accusing people. He's always blaming people. One thing you'll notice about God is he rarely ever does that. God almost always calls people to take action. The fourth step is rage. Feel the rage within inside of you and direct it toward hitting the gem, direct it toward making goals and setting your sail and get moving. Obviously you don't want to make goals and then just leave them at that. That's not very smart. Get moving on your goals. That's what rage and anger will help you do. Don't turn it outward on people. Don't turn it inward on yourself. Turn it towards your activities. And that makes sense. When you do that long enough, you'll reach the fifth stage, which is L, lift. You'll feel the sorrow lift. I believe in you. Let's get it. Join me on my vlog towards the growth mindset. Now Juno and I are about to go to a park. Point number 2, I have a challenge for you guys. It's 3 of them. It's going to be read a chapter of Proverbs a day. Proverbs it's fantastic because of several reasons. One, the average amount of verses in each chapter is like 33 verses or something like that. I mean, it's short. The longest is only 36 verses. That's chapter 8. So it's only going to take you about 2-3 minutes to crank that out. The other reason why a chapter a day in Proverbs is a good place to start, it's going to make sense for you to start there, is because it's the only book of the Bible that has a genre where God is actually writing straight to you. Ain't that right, Juno? Juno's just excited that we're off to see the park, so he loves him a good park, running around and stuff. But in the Torah, the first 5 books of the Bible, God shows you the basis of the law and his heart. He shows you, the beginning and why, the origins of it all, how everything fits in space and time. Prophets, very important, but it's not really made for daily reading. It's actually a genre to let you know how God acts globally. The law is how God acts morally and how God expects us to live morally. Hey, Juno? I don't know if he's following along, but the other thing is Proverbs is fantastic because it's one of the few. It is the only genre where God is directly speaking to the reader about how to get the good life. In other words, a growth mindset, it ain't nothing new. 3,000 years ago, Solomon had his own podcast, his own version of YouTube by writing book of Ecclesiastes first. Then Proverbs, then the Song of Solomon, in that order. You heard it from me first. But doing this is only going to take 2 or 3 minutes out of your day. And you know what? If you got a family, I've been doing it with my boys ever since they were infants. Didn't matter that they didn't understand the words. It was reading to your kids is a fantastic idea all around. But as they get older, you know what I do? I bring out the strawberries and blueberries when they were 1, 2, 3, 4 years old, 5 years old. And man, we have a great time with it. I bring out all their favorite foods for Bible time. We just read a chapter of Proverbs, and I might pick out a verse or 2. Bing, bang, boom. Only 2 or 3 minutes of your time. 10 minutes tops. That's the best way you're going to spend your 10 minutes right there. Because that is the only book, except for maybe Ephesians, where God is directly speaking with you. Your time is important. All right, so 3 challenges for part 2 of this video. Challenge number 1, I want you to read 1 chapter of Proverbs a day. So if today is the 1st, you read chapter 1. If today's the 15th, you only read chapter 15. Let's say you skip. That's all right. If you skip yesterday, don't try to read 2 chapters. Don't do that. Just stick To get into your routine and breathe just that day. And what that'll do is slowly wade you into the waters. Self-improvement. Challenge number 2, what you're going to want to do is bring out your Excel. Now, get out your Excel spreadsheet. If you're not familiar with Excel, that is a skill that you as young men, that is obligatory for you to learn. And I'll show you some tips and tricks in Python and Excel. If you guys want, just send a comment down below and I'll make a video on it. But one simple thing you can do this is, in the cell you want to put an equal sign and write in 168. This is how many hours a week you have. All right, now you want to put in the cell next to it total. Okay, total amount of hours. Then you go down one in a row. Now follow me here. Let's say you sleep 56 hours that week, 8 hours a night. I'm hoping y'all are getting and prioritizing your sleep, because if not, you are literally shooting yourself in the foot. You need to get at least 8 hours of sleep at night. You might even want to put 10 hours of sleep at night. That's fine. Set aside time for your sleep. So let's say, you put in 8 to 10 hours of sleep every night. So that's 56 to 70 hours of sleep. So what you're going to do is you take 168 and subtract the amount of hours you're sleeping. Now, hopefully you're working 40 to 50 hours a week, or you're in school. Not a bad endeavor, but you want to put 40, 50 hours of study there, 40, 50 hours at work, right? All right. How many hours you got left? Are you surprised? You would be amazed at how many hours of our day is wasted. Don't believe me? Go to your iPhone, go to your Android, look at your settings under parental controls and health and well-being or something like that, and take a look at how much time you're spending on each app. It's disgusting. That's my challenge to you, is do this simple Excel exercise and take a look at where your hours are really going. Challenge number 3. All right. Let's say you live till you're 80 years old. Don't get me wrong, tomorrow is not guaranteed. But let's say you live till you're 80 years old. Then you take your age and multiply that by 12 and figure out, not your age, but you figure out how many years left. So you take 80 minus however old you are. I'm 37, right? So, I've got 43 years. It's 504 months to live. Your time is short. That's what I'm trying to get you to see. Now, I could say life is short, and that would be true, but until you start seeing the fact that you only have X amount of months to live, you only have X amount of weeks to live, X amount of days to live, you're not really going to understand what Proverbs says when it says, the wisdom of the prudent is to understand his way, but the folly of fools is deceiving. The idea here is, man, you only have a limited amount of days and dollars. How are you going to spend it? I hope you spend it on a growth mindset.
I was reading about the Moso or Moso. I'm sure, whoever knows about this, you can make a comment down below and correct me on this. But the Moso bamboo plant, generally growing in China, has to be watered for 4 to 5 years. I mean, this is just wild. You go out there and you start watering that plant, people are going to be looking at you like you're an idiot. Okay, another year, eh? What you doing there? This guy's watering dirt. Who cares? You keep on watering that plant. You keep on learning your skills, whatever it is. If you're in data, maybe you're learning SQL and you feel like you're not getting anywhere. If you're in sales, you're learning tech skills and all that. You're learning how to get your audience in your funnel, and you're not seeing any progress yet. That's all right. Keep going. Keep going. Keep grinding. Keep going. And trust the process. 3rd year of watering that plant, nothing. 4th year of watering that plant, nothing. Keep going. And during that time, get used to people leaving you. Because when you stop caring about what the ogres think, you stop caring what the Karens have to say. When you stop caring about other people's opinions, and they can't, you are not going to let them run you down. Man, that's beautiful. They start leaving you alone. And then the 5th year comes. That plant starts to grow more and more, and then all of a sudden you'll be vindicated. And then all of a sudden you'll feel the pleasure of God. You'll see God clapping for you. Not literally. Don't take that. But you will feel the pleasure of God. You will get to where you have to go when you stop caring about what people think about you. This is Adam, aka Lion Among Wolves. Stay metal.